All right, so a friend of mine got the plague, and it was right at Christmas time that she was sick, and I had peeked at her chart real quick and said, "Oh yeah, right on time." And I told her I'd make a video, so here I am. Do my best here to try to show it and explain it. I've been tracking this particular plague since it came into prominence in 2020. Um, I've been noticing that with the full moons and new moons, a lot of times it would be conjunct different planets. Like the one time it was conjunct Saturn, a whole lot of restrictions were put out uh, with Saturn ruling Capricorn and Pluto going through Capricorn. There it is, transit Pluto and Capricorn there with all of its power and control issues with the government. So this is the asteroid that I use for it. It does sometimes just come up when you're sick, even if there's a negative test. So, but it's just very interesting how it pops up. In this case, transit plague here is connecting to her progressed moon. This is her natal and progressed chart, where her birth planets are on the inside here, and in green are the progressed placements now. And then I added in the transit placements in blue. Um, so I layered it all together. It's a little messier to look at and read, but it just kind of shows everything. So like I said, the transit plague here was connecting to her progressed moon. This is her progressed plague. And one thing it connects to in a square is Uranus in transit. It's definitely an unexpected illness that she got right at Christmas time. Uranus is the ruler of her ascendant. She's an Aquarius ascendant, rising. And connecting to the plague and to Uranus also are her progressed Chiron, opposite her Uranus again, and her progressed midheaven and IC, and her natal sun is really close to 1840. So, of course, the midheaven is your most public part of your chart, and she does think she got it from work, which is also related to your career. Um, and she had posted on Facebook that she had done a test, and sure enough, that's what it was. But of course, she wasn't happy about it. IC being your emotional foundation, Christmas time being sick. I did see that somebody had brought her some food for Christmas, left it on her porch. So she's been going through a lot. She's just had her fourth major heart surgery. She was born with a heart condition. You can see here in Leo in her sixth house of health. She has quite a lot going on. She's a Cancer sun ruled by the moon. There was a full moon December 27th at 4 degrees 57 minutes, which connects to her progressed Neptune and her progressed part of fortune. And that's in a square there to her part of fortune and into an inconjunct to Neptune, which of course rules hospitals and illnesses. Yeah. So what else was that? 5. A lot of them I didn't color right. There's not enough colors. So connecting to that full moon December 27th, also we have Jupiter retrograde in transit, her progressed ascendant, and Mars. Um, her natal Mars is conjunct her Aesculapia, which is a medical, like I said, she was born with a heart condition. Um, Her progressed maiden name here connects to that full moon. And her progressed nodes, the south nodes, her progressed south node, the full moon hit it opposite her north node here. Okay. One of the things in transit, Pluto at 29 degrees, where it's been for a while, and just moving tonight into Aquarius, was conjunct her first name and Asclepius, one of the medicals, at the time that she did the test and posted it on Facebook for all of us to see. And you can see that the transiting Pluto, her name, and Asclepius are square to her progressed nickname, which is her first and middle name that uh, I and other people call her. And it connects to Saturn, which is the restrictions and illness. And in Gemini, that's your community, your workplace, or young children, neighbors. There's no telling who she might have gotten it from. But she, Gemini ruled by Mercury, and they are communicable diseases is one of the things that falls under that. And I'll get to that in a minute. There's a lot of matches up to the different Mercuries as Mercury was stationing direct right here opposite her natal Saturn. So then her transit maiden name was right here with her progressed Askalaphus. I had crossed back over it because it's retrograde, so going this direction, and connecting to her nickname and Saturn and Mercury stationing direct, and also connecting to transit Hygeia here. So that makes a larger aspect of all these connecting. All right, so then we go back to Mercury that rules this Saturn here, and you can see that it's making a square to her midheaven and to her IC. This is her natal. And then the sun was also transiting. Sun was connecting to that. That was right before the full moon. And so it was making an inconjunct to her Mercury in the sixth house of health. In Leo, also ruling the heart. She did have she was wondering how this would affect her upcoming heart appointment. She had to talk to her heart doctors. She just had a major surgery not too long ago. So it's connecting to her progressed Saturn here, connecting to her progressed Pluto and Asclepius, which are conjunct in the eighth house that's ruled by Pluto and Scorpio. We'll get to that in a minute. Her Pluto and her first name and part of fortune, luck, and lot in life sits right near the eighth house cusp, but on the seventh house side, committed relationships with other people. And in Libra, which is, she's very much a people person. She's friends with everybody, and everybody loves her. That is a blessing for her, and she's a blessing to everyone else. But you can see here that transit Askalaphus, which I have a typo, that should be an S, is square to her first name, her Pluto, and part of fortune, and also connecting to her natal first name. And a little more widely would also connect to the transiting Pluto name in Asclepius here, as well as to the grays, the Jupiter, progressed Jupiter, the Sun, the Saturn. I like to keep it to a 2-degree orb, but sometimes 3 shows it too, especially because some planets travel faster, planetary bodies. Um, let's see, regroup. So Mars rules her Aesculapia and Mars here in Aries. And you can see that it's touching in a trine the nodes, a trine and sextile, but making it in conjunct to her Askalaphus health in that third house that's ruled by Mercury and also ruled by Venus. And Venus here was opposite her Askalaphus a few days before. Venus rules the health of the body, the lungs, chest. Of course, that's symptoms of the plague, as well as work. And of course, she had to take off work and miss money and had to miss out on celebrating Christmas with her friends. And that also connects to her natal plague here in the sixth house of health. The transiting moon was right about there. And of course, the moon rules her sun, her sixth house health sun. And it's connecting to her progressed Chiron, her natal Chiron, which is health as well, and doctors. Chiron was stationing to go direct at that time, right here on her progressed anti-vertex. And the vertex, anti-vertex, is the Destiny's gateway. Anything that happens at your anti-vertex especially is very prominent in your life. And it's connecting to her progressed Hygeia here in her first house of self. And her maiden name. At about the time she got infected, transit plague here was making a square to her progressed sun in Virgo, which does rule health in the sixth house, and is ruled by Mercury and Chiron, both of which stationed direct at the same time-ish, a day or two apart. So we go back to this Venus, and it's making a square to her Hygeia health, and in transit is trine to Neptune, which rules illnesses and diseases, as well as the Mercury and Pluto. Let's see what else. Transit Aesculapia, one of the health asteroids, is making a connection. You know, they go to this direction, so it's making a connection to her natal Aesculapia and Mars, as well as anything in the 11 to 14-ish range. And she was sick for a few days, making it in conjunct to her progressed Venus here. So yeah, just trying to show a few things. I don't know. I'm sure I forgot more, and I want to add in the fates and chaos and all of the other things that really show it on time. But you know, if we knew who she got it from, then we could do pacts and the other soul contracts. But I don't know if I mentioned, because this is my third attempt at this recording, her regressed part of fortune is making a trine to her Neptune here. And I find that very interesting. Especially that her part of fortune is a 444, which is a very magical number. I'm not sure what I might have forgotten, but I just wanted to kind of give a little look at how it might show up in a chart for you with some of the simpler health asteroids along with this particular plague one in the names. So hopefully that does the trick. Thanks for watching.